Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 decks heading into the Lille Regional Championships. Whether you're playing this event or not, you'll want to check out this video to see where our Lost Origin metagame is heading. These decks might be some of the best decks, they might be some of the best position decks. You'll see exactly as I explain throughout this video. If you haven't already, give this video a like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know in the comments below. Totally love to hear some feedback. We will have the top 5 deck lists as well there, so check that out. Beyond that, it is one of those things where we just try to share the best information possible. If you are trying to pick up any of the cards for this deck, or these decks, or any other kind of decks, or any card games, go to atlastcg.com for your Pokemon TCG singles, sealed products, sleeves, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and more. You can also go to ptcgostore.com, plug in code TSS5 to save 5% off of any codes, including Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest is coming out soon, so maybe you'll want to pick up some codes then. If you are a Patreon member or YouTube member, you do have access to an additional 5% off to make it 10% off for that website, so consider supporting the squad like that today. Let's jump into our number 5 pick. Kicking things off with our number 5 deck is Hisuian Goodra VSTAR with Arceus VSTAR. Here we took the core of Hale Obernolte's list that was actually able to win the whole event at Salt Lake City. The goal of this deck is to use Arceus VSTAR, power up Hisuian Goodra VSTAR, and then attack with Hisuian Goodra VSTAR to reduce your opponent's damage outputs. With a lot of single prize card Pokemon seeing success at Salt Lake City Day 2, that's really where this deck shined. It's one of those things where in the larger part of the metagame, when there's lots of Mew VMAX and other decks that might have a way around this, seems like Hale was able to dodge most of those decks and have a very good deck choice Day 2. So if you're wondering why this deck is placed a little bit low, it's because it's very much, there's counters to this deck, and as long as you're able to avoid them, this looks like an amazing list if you make it far enough in the event where all those top decks rise to the top. If you don't really make it there, that's really where this deck's going to struggle a little bit. So it's a little bit of a risky choice, but it is easy going to play to accelerate energies and do a bunch of healing action. I know a lot of people are going to ask about the Chorus's Experiment because this is not a Lost Zone toolbox deck or a Giratina VSTAR deck. You're using Chorus's Experiment to increase your hand size. So let's say if you have a 5-card hand, you are getting 3 off Chorus, but you do get to see the top 5 cards of your deck. That does allow you to use things like Hyper Potion with ease and find cards like Crystal Cave. So overall, I really do like how this list plays out. Looks like an absolutely great choice, and I hope that we get to see a bunch of it at the Lille Regional Championships. Hopping into our number 4 pick is Mew VMAX with Double Turbo Energy. Here we take the core from Charlie Kerr's list that they were able to see a lot of success with at Salt Lake City Regionals, and Mew VMAX is just kind of on top of things. You're going to continuously be attacking with Techno Blast, or maybe you could be even copying like Max Miracle or Psychic Leap, but the goal of this deck is to slap on a Double Turbo Energy as consistently as possible to Mew, and then attack. Between Volo and Cheryl and Lost City, you have answers against single prize card Pokemon. Against Avery, you can take out your opponent's large bench, which we see in a lot of the other top decks. You can cross-switch or bring up whatever you want. It seems like this is the better version of Mew. So if you are playing a version of Mew that plays Fusion Strike Energy, I highly recommend that you try this one out. It's not necessarily going to be the most exciting range of attacks, but it does have a lot of really cool tech cards that can get you out of wrong situations. You can even play Path against your opponent and Roxanne them at the right time. It does shut off your Genesect, but you could really shut down your opponent's deck. I think this is one of those decks that might even spike up a little bit more. So if you're really like worried about Mew, you can always pack a Drapion V. This deck could also Lost City it away. So it's one of those things where we'll have to see how Mew really plays out, but I do think it is a strong choice heading into Lille Regionals. Jumping into our number 3 deck is Regis. Regis has been on a tear ever since Peoria Regionals, where a large portion of the deck made top 32. I know that I played this at Peoria and at Salt Lake City, but I did not play this exact list, the list that Caleb, Gedimer, Azul GG, and Grant Manley played to great success at Salt Lake City, all 3 of them making top 8. The Yellowhorn tech in their deck really is a tech against Ice Cube and other solid decks in the format. Sometimes you can just make your opponent's active Pokemon confused and really put them in a tough spot. Beyond that, you got the electromagnetic sonar Regieleki to continuously cycle things back, so you have a lot of opportunities to take those 4-ofs to 3-ofs and really change how the deck's going to be played. With Gift Energy being banned, this deck didn't really necessarily see much play on PTCGO, and it's still banned on PTCGO, but it is one of those things where if you are playing, this deck is very real, and we're likely going to see a lot of players repeat it at Lille Regionals. So if you haven't already, check this one out. Regis is a strong play. It can sometimes be inconsistent, so I do want to throw that out there. But overall, it does have a strong set of matchups, so check it out. Going into our number 2 spot, and probably a little bit of an oversight from my behalf heading into Salt Lake City, Giratina VSTAR, absolutely a fantastic deck. Here we're using Nick Moffat's list as a core of the deck. I think I basically swapped out the Guru for Snorlax. We might see a little bit more Lost Zone toolbox, seeing success at Lille. It's one of those things where it's difficult, and I probably wanted to put Lost Zone toolbox in this top 5, but I know y'all would have killed me if I didn't put Hisuian Goodra VSTAR on this list after it just won the regionals. The goal of this deck is to get a bunch of cards into the Lost Zone to attack with Cramorant for 4, use Mirage Gate at 7, and attack with Sableye at 10. So a lot of really cool things moving on with this list. I wouldn't mind seeing Thornton, and Thornton might be good if you want to go for a 2-2 Tina. Right now, I really like how Nick's list flows, and the way that it looks, it just looks fantastic on paper. So if you are playing a version of Tina, maybe try out this list. This list looks like it's well poised to at least be the number 1 or number 2 deck going into Lille Regionals. That being said, we're about to jump into our number 1 deck. Which deck is it going to be? Put your best guesses in the comments. Pause this video, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's jump into that number 1 choice. Boom, here we have it. At number 1 is Palkia VSTAR. Our very own Cal Connor's list that they piloted to a top 32. I think the Ice Q is hot in this deck, especially with all those Regis. Now, I know that Cal faced into some of them and did get Yell-horned. There are ways to play this around by getting extra energies, retreating, scoop up netting, opportunities to make it happen. So that being said, I do think that this deck has some opportunities against the Regis deck to just kind of roll through it. So if you haven't already got to that point, try this out. Palkia VSTAR is all about accelerating energies to itself and other water-type Pokemon. You have the opportunity to take multiple prize cards with Radiant Greninja. You have the opportunity to be a single prize card Pokemon with Inteleon, and of course Palkia VSTAR is likely the most efficient attacker we have in the entire game. There's a bunch of one-ups when it comes to this deck, but it's really just a deck that's found its way since Milwaukee Regionals 2022 all the way currently to this format. It's largely going to be the number 1 or at least top 3 deck heading out for the rest of our Lost Origin format. So if you haven't got a chance to play around with Palkia VSTAR too much, they just got those new Origin form Palkia VSTAR boxes, and I'm sure that's going to be great for you to pick up for your collection. What do you think about this list? Let us know. Let me close things out. And that's what we got going on for this video. Are you heading to Lille Regionals? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear back from you. Did your favorite deck make the list? Again, let us know in the comments below. We hope to see you all seeing the most success. I don't think we're necessarily going to have anyone from the Shuffle Squad at that event, but at the next Regionals, Warsaw Regionals, both Alex Szymanski and myself will be attending that event. And of course, Cal Connor, Alex, and myself will be attending Sao Paulo Internationals. Got a lot of great stuff coming up, so if you haven't already, consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel. I know I say it all the time, but it's all that stuff that really helps. If you catch this video on Twitter, by all means retweet it. All that great stuff. It really does help support the squad. You can help support the squad by using code TSS12 at atlastcg.com to save 12% off your order of Pokemon TCG singles, Pokemon sealed product, graded product, sleeves, damage counters, anything else you're looking there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, TSS12 at atlastcg.com. We also have code TSS5 at ptcgeostore.com for any of your Lost Origin codes, any kind of the decklist promo codes, or any upcoming Silver Tempest codes. So be sure to check that out as a YouTube member or a Patreon pledger. You could save an additional 5% to make it 10% at ptcgeostore.com if you check out our Patreon for that special discount code and our special TSS Discord server. We hope you all enjoy that. That being said, we have some words from our sponsor. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great day.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London, and then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.